So let's set the stage. A new video pops up in your feed, why gaming isn't fun anymore. It's got a moody thumbnail, probably a guy staring at his PS5 or Steam library like it's just betrayed him, and the voiceover kicks in. You ever boot up Minecraft to walk around for 10 minutes and then close it because you're bored? Ever open up GTA 5 only to joyride aimlessly before rage quitting? You spent years saving up for a gaming computer, but now you don't even feel like playing anything. What happened to gaming, man? Sounds familiar? Yeah, for me too. These videos are everywhere, and honestly, no shame to these creators, but every time I hear gaming is not fun, my eyes roll so hard they could be classified as DLC for a pinball machine. And don't get me wrong, it's not that people don't feel this way. I get it, I've been there. But what bothers me is how this sentiment turns into a blanket statement, as if gaming itself is broken, instead of, maybe re-evaluating how we approach it. So today, we're diving into the heart of the so-called gaming crisis, and figuring out if the problem really lies with the games or with us. So let's start with the big one, nostalgia. You know the drill, people claim that games were better back in the day, as if the golden ages of Halo 3 and Super Mario 64 hadn't had its own problems. Sure, older games felt like magic, but let's be real, that magic had to do a lot with us. When you're a kid, everything feels new. You've never battled Ganondorf before, you've never stolen a car in Los Santos. Every pixel feels revolutionary because it's your first time experiencing it. Now, you've clocked hundreds of hours, you've seen behind the curtain, and of course, the wonder fades. It's not because gaming is worse, it's because you've changed. But nostalgia goggles are powerful. You might look back at GoldenEye 007 as the pinnacle of multiplayer shooters, until you replay it and realize aiming feels like trying to thread a needle while riding a unicycle. And don't get me wrong, nostalgia isn't bad. Revisiting old favorites can be comforting, but don't let it convince you that everything new is trash. The truth is, there's a lot of good stuff out there. You just need to be willing to look for it. And another big reason people feel burned out is because they're playing the same 5 games on repeat. It's always Minecraft, Call of Duty, GTA 5, rinse and repeat. And hey, these are great games, iconic even. But if you've only eaten chicken nuggets every day, don't be surprised when they stop tasting good. Gaming is like a buffet, folks. There are so many genres, styles and mechanics out there waiting to be explored. Love first-person shooters? Try a narrative-driven indie like Firewatch. Addicted to FIFA? Shake things up with something like Stardew Valley, for example. Heck, if you're into competitive online games, try going offline for a rich single-player RPG like The Witcher 3. With this, sometimes the problem isn't gaming, it's our reluctance to step out of our comfort zones. And if you're worried about wasting money on something you might not enjoy, wait for a sale. Trust me, $3.50 on the wildcard game beats any other aimless night of closing Warzone in frustration. Now, let's talk about the modern gaming problem. Microtransactions, battle passes and half-baked launches are about as appealing as pineapple on pizza. Don't at me. It's frustrating when a highly anticipated game drops only for it to be riddled with bugs and cash grabs. But here's the thing. While AAA gaming might feel soulless at times, there's an entire world of indie games proving that creativity is alive and well. Games like Hades, Celeste and Hollow Knight show that innovation and heart are thriving in the industry. Not to mention, there are still polished AAA gems out there. Just this year, we've had stunning titles like Baldur's Gate 3 and Spider-Man 2. The industry isn't dying, it's evolving. And while not every change is for the better, it's important to focus on what's working instead of getting hung up on what's broken. Here's another thing. A lot of people rely entirely on multiplayer games to have fun. And while playing with friends is great, it shouldn't be your only source of enjoyment. Let's face it, sometimes the boys aren't online and you're stuck playing solo. That's where single-player games come in. Games like God of War, Breath of the Wild, or even Just Cause 3 offer experiences that don't rely on matchmaking or lobbies. They're your chance to immerse yourself in a world at your own pace. And if you're worried about being alone, remember, Rico Rodriguez is always down to blow stuff up with you. And let's talk about one of gaming's greatest strengths, escapism. Life can get overwhelming, and sometimes you just need to unplug and dive into a world where your biggest worry is an alien invasion or finding enough rupees to buy a new shield. They let you leave the stress of real life behind and immerse yourself into something that's entirely your own pace. Even games like Just Cause 3 can serve as a release. You don't need to think about your inbox when you're grappling helicopters to enemy towers. Escapism isn't just about avoiding reality, it's about giving your brain a break and coming back to life's challenges refreshed. This is one reason why single-player games, which let you craft your own experience, are so valuable. They provide a safe space to experiment, make mistakes, or just goof off without judgment. If gaming isn't fun for you right now, maybe what you need isn't a multiplayer grind or high-stakes competition. It's the serenity of losing yourself in a world where you make the rules. So, is gaming still fun? At the end of the day, the idea that gaming isn't fun anymore is less about the industry and more about how we approach the industry. If you're feeling burnt out, try these steps. Play something new, step outside of your comfort zone. Mix in single-player experiences. They're underrated gems. Take a break. Seriously, it's okay to pause and come back later. Or rediscover old favorites. Sometimes it's a little nostalgia what you need. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, maybe you'll enjoy my video about Just Cause 4. And as always, don't forget to like, share, comment, donate, master.